Alexei Shirov. When I was a teenager, he shocked the world with dazzling attacks. And even today, many years later, he is still carrying on, putting fire on board, which was the name of his own autobiography. He is doing well in the Grand Swiss in Riga, and we will see a great attacking game. Very, very trademark Shirov, Planet Shirov, as some would call it back in the days, against another very strong player, Ivan Saric, who is a former European champion and I think the best Croatian player at the moment. By the way, I played both of them and lost against both of them. I also played a few draws against Ivan, but I lost both games against Shirov. So I have a lot of respect for these players. They are very good, and this is a great game. So tighten your seatbelts and sit back and enjoy. This will be a good ride. Ivan is an attacking player who starts with e4 and wants to go after the king. And he's, by the way, rather theoretical. And so is Shirov. And Shirov had the problems that everybody can see what he's playing and everybody's preparing. And he's not surprising people enough. This is a little tip for Alexei. If they don't know what's coming, they will not be as well as have such good preparation for you. This is my tip anyway. Anyway, this is the new Archangel variation, and it's something Shirov has played for many years. It's very popular. I think Carlsen plays it, Aronian is playing it, and it's rather cool to have the bishop on this square instead of the passive e7 square. The problem is, of course, that you might miss this bishop on the king side later because it will sit on the queen side, and you're hoping that you will also get an attacking chance here. c3, all this is normal. a4, rook b8, d4, bishop b6. The main line used to be take knight a3 here. But recently they started to play a5, which looks weird. But the idea is that in some endings, this pawn actor will be weak, and also that the counterplay on the queen side is actually often in black's favor. a3 prevents any bishop g4, bishop b7, bishop e3, which is interesting, and it's getting very sharp, and I'm sure that Ivan had prepared a lot here, but as it comes, it doesn't turn out too good for him. Shirov takes the pawn, rook e1, and we already have fire on board. And Shirov is the kind of player who likes to have a mess. He doesn't mind that it's very messy. And it's well known, by the way, that black can often take this pawn, and often white will get very good compensation for it. d5. So at the moment, white has sacrificed the pawn, but he has very active pieces, and these two guys are out of play for the moment. Knight b d2, getting ready to, and knight e7, closing the queen side, take, knight e5. Castle, and here I think white made a mistake. He played queen g4, looks very good, but it's not really working the way he would like, so he has to probably find something else. It does look intimidating for black, and maybe you should just go queen h5 or something, but I think black will play the same no matter what. Bishop d4 is maybe threatening bishop h6, maybe threatening knight d7 and knight f6. There are a lot of things going on here, but black has a very nice move, bishop d5. And it looks like there should be some problem tactically, and but there isn't any problem tactically. So the thing is, you would love to do something like this, and I'm sure even he was scratching his head and thinking, was this possible? Oh, what's going on here? Knight d7, okay, he takes b3, that's nothing working. But what if I take first? He can't take with the knight because of knight c6. So he has to take with the queen, and then I can play knight d7. But then, oops, f5, because there was a threat here and here from d7. But f5 covers f6 and attacks the queen. Weird stuff. He took, and this was, of course, not the plan to play this move, because here it's already black who's in control. This knight is now, instead of being an attacking force, it's getting loose, and the bishop is coming to life. So we will have a mess, because Ivan is not the kind of guy who will just roll over and die, and there are some problems with some loose pieces. So they are all calculating like crazy here. So take, attacking here. Also, white got a pass pawn. Take, and there is something maybe going on here. Queen d7, double attack. And still this is also hanging. Knight here. That was not the idea. And this knight is not only defending itself, it's also getting ready to get into an attacking position. Bishop d6. And here we have a really cool moment for black. So what to do? If you were Alexei Shirov, what would you do here? Thing is, he plays something. Well, if you were an elephant gambit player, you would probably find the move e3. Very, very disruptive. The thing is, this rook is hanging. So this guy here has to cover the rook. But what if we take? We see that this bishop here is at the moment threatening two exchanges, and this is also hanging. So it's real Shirov chess. Okay, we'll make them all red. They're all hanging here. Everything's hanging. So what to do here? Well, what you do is this move, attacking the queen. The queen will have to go, and if it goes back, then the rook will just move, and you have lost a piece. So that's not going. The rook will just go. So you probably have to take, but you can't take, because then comes the real point behind e3 was to open here. So now comes knight h4. Ooh, and you can't cover g2. So this is real Shirov chess, right? This is what's make him tick. So e3 is a real shocker, and it does create the threat here with a fork on the rook and the king. So we have to do something. Rook f1 and take. And again, we can't take back because the rook is hanging, so it has to go. It's time to vacate a rook here. Rook b e8. Okay, what about taking the bishop now? The problem here is this move and rook coming here. Queening. Getting a new queen. Okay, so you get this was a big problem. So you have to vacate that. Bishop gets out of the danger zone. He took here. King takes back, and here white resigned. The problem is the pawn is not going anywhere. There's a threat of mate in one here. Queen c1. You can take, I guess. Yes, you can. So what to do here? There's nothing to do here, and black has a material advantage. So white resigned, and he's also totally lost. A great game by Shirov, showing that even now, many years after he was at the peak of his career, he's still a dangerous and strong attacker. And I always look at his games because there's also often something funny going on, and I can recommend you do the same. This was GM Talks. Thank you for watching, and if you like this channel, share it with your friends and maybe ask them to subscribe or subscribe yourself. Thank you.